Hi everyone, I'm Emily, the Young Diabetes Leader for New Zealand, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about how it's awesome living with type 1 in New Zealand. So first things first, we have a government controlled agency called PharmAc, which subsidises all our insulin and our medicines, and this is really amazing because it only costs us $5 for our per prescription for our insulin cartridge, our needles, our glucose testing strips, and the needles that go in our pricker, which is awesome because that means that we're only paying about $5 to $15 every 1 to 3 months, depending on how fast you're using your supplies. So for me, it really only cost me about $15 every 3 months, which is a massive saving to keep us alive. So earlier this week, I had the pleasure of going into the Waikato, Diabetes Waikato support rooms and talking to 2 young diabetics, Kerry and Bailey, about their experiences having type 1 in New Zealand. And so I'm going to cut to some interview footage that I got of these guys earlier in the week, and we're just going to discuss some of the things that we talked about. These girls will tell us that they've had awesome experiences with their specialist nurses and it's all for free. So, Bailey?
Just being able to call at 2 o'clock in the morning because I've got an issue with ketones and I need someone to kind of guide me to know where to go into hospital because I'm not always good with that. So that's 24/7 availability. It's amazing.
It is. It's something we take for granted, definitely.
Yeah.
And what about you, Kerry?
I think the best support I've had is when my blood sugar's been haywire and I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't know what to do, and my endocrinologist saw me 4 times in 6 weeks and got me onto a pump because there was nothing that could be done other than better control.
Wow, and it's interesting you say that then. So these girls are both on pumps, I'm on a pen, and the way the pumps work in New Zealand is that if you are having lots of lows, you get a pump usually around 8 months, and if you're pregnant you can get a pump for about 8 months. And with these girls, if you're erratic or you're having troubles controlling your blood sugars for X amount of time, you can get a pump funded and you have to stay, what is it, girls?
10, I think it's 5 to 10 millimoles underneath your HbA1c before you go on the pump. You have to keep it below. So if you started off on 83, you have to keep it below 73.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And that's also amazing, really, for that kind of technology. As you can see with Kerry and Bailey, what they've told me is that it's not just a diabetes nurse specialist, it's the whole team. We know that diabetes is a multifaceted disease, so it's really awesome to hear from Bailey how she views this and how she views the support in New Zealand.
Oh, there's not just nurses, there's like the dietitian you can see, maybe need to, or a psychologist.
Mental health, sort of.
Which is like, I've seen, like I was having issues, so I got to see all 3 of them, my nurse, psych and dietitian, monthly for like a whole year.
Amazing.
Because I needed that extra support, so they made time and they gave me that support.
Wow, and that's amazing. You don't have to pay a cent, that's all our government.
I've always felt comfortable with them. And I've had the same team, well 2 of them, the dietitian and the psych, I've had them since I was like 3.
So they've been with you the whole way, which is really important. So this support is really invaluable, as you can see, and these girls have had some really positive experiences. It's not always easy travelling as a diabetic because we have a lot more supplies and things to consider when we are on the road. One thing I love about being in New Zealand is that we actually are able to take a decent amount of supplies with us at a very subsidised rate so that we don't have to pay for a lot of these supplies overseas.
I thought it was fantastic because when I went in, originally when I first got accepted into the UK for university, Vicky asked me, because I said, look, there's a chance I could be going for a year, and she said, that's perfectly fine. We can organise that, we can sort out a year's worth of insulin, and plus you'll always get that. She said, we'll add 6 months on, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. What happens if some of it goes off? What happens if there's something wrong with the batch, or if for some weird reason you use all of it? We've got it sorted. We've got something in place that it's not a problem, and to be given a year and a half's worth of insulin just short thing
is
is
It's
fantastic.
It's good to know that we won't run out. Or if we do, like, we call on call, like, I've run out of insulin, please help. And then they'll write your prescription. They don't judge.
At all.
Like, they know things happen, life happens. Like, sometimes you kind of want to put diabetes back there and carry on with life. So
that these girls have had heaps of support throughout their life with type 1, and especially from their diabetes specialist nurse, Vicky. It really showcases the fact that we have these amazing support groups and organisations in different regions in New Zealand that give us the help we need with our diabetes. And Diabetes Waikato is one of those organisations that has done a fantastic job in the Waikato region to support its large number of type 1 diabetics. The youth group that Kerry and Bailey are part of is formed an awesome bond and have really helped youth from the ages of 16 to 25 deal with some of the issues that they face on a daily basis. So there you have it. There's a small little informal insight into what it's like having type 1 diabetes in New Zealand. I hope you've enjoyed this brief little video, as we've enjoyed giving it to you, and I hope to hear from some of you in the near future. Thanks. Have an awesome day. Bye.